Figures reveal boost in visitors to the Fylde coast. Hello, you're watching Headline News. I'm Hannah Vaness and a very warm welcome to the programme. New figures have revealed that a record-breaking 3.31 million people visited the Fylde coast in 2024. As a result, the tourism generated £360 million for the local economy, representing 6.3% of Lancashire's total tourism value. Head of Tourism at Fylde Council, Tim Dixon, spoke to That's TV about the reason behind the boost in tourism and the positive benefits it has brought to the region.
I think certainly since COVID, we've seen the numbers of visitors to the area come back to sort of pre-COVID levels, and we've sort of seen confidence in the market that we've got good accommodation in the area. It's a nice place, it's safe, it's flat, it's easy to park, all the logistics are there. As a council, we've put money into the town centres to improve those and the events programme and more. So I think we've sort of generated a lot of interest in what is a nice part of the world. And we've sort of seen, huge events. We've got the Lytham Festival, the Kite Festival in St Anne's, the 1940s weekend, Lytham, but sort of 200 plus events across the borough right across the year. So right across the year, there's something for everyone to come and sort of visit. Some fantastic places to stay, country pubs, hotels doing turkey and tinsel at this time of year. So there's a lot going on in the area. And I think we've just seen that as people have found it's not as cheap as it used to be to get on a plane and jump overseas to a Mediterranean holiday, that actually with the cost of living crisis as well that's going on, it's easier to jump in the car and come over to a nice seaside. According to the latest figures that we've received that we're talking about, there's over 3,000 jobs are directly as a result of the tourism industry locally.
Elsewhere now, a Blackburn man who carried out an unprovoked knife attack on a mutual friend has been jailed. Jack Lynch was sentenced for 1 count of wounding without intent to cause grievous bodily harm and 1 count of possession of a bladed article in a public place. Lynch was sentenced to 40 months imprisonment and given a restraining order in relation to the victim for 4 years. The government has opened the door to the cancellation of next year's local elections in the 7 Lancashire areas where they are due to be held. All 7 are amongst 63 councils nationwide that have now been invited by ministers to make the case for cancellation, given that they are all going through the same local government reorganisation process over the next 3 years. Local Government Minister Alison McGovern said she had listened to councils who shared the challenges they face while preparing for resource-intense elections for areas which may shortly be abolished. A Blackpool food charity facing closure has been given some emergency funding, allowing for it to continue supporting families in need across the Fylde coast. The Big Food project will now remain open thanks to a new partnership and emergency funding from SP Electricity North West, which is expected to provide roughly 36,000 meals. And now for a quick look at the local sports, where AFC Fylde are preparing to host local side Chorley for their festive fixture on Boxing Day at Mill Farm. The Coasters host Andy Priest's side in a first home clash since the start of the month, when Fylde walked away with a 1-0 victory over Merthyr Town. Fylde are now looking to collect some points after falling to a first defeat in 10 away league games, following a 1-0 away loss at Kidderminster Harriers. And we'd love to hear what you think, so please do get in touch with your views, or if you have a story of your own you think should be on the show. Follow us on X, we're on @That'sTVLancs. Get in touch on Facebook by searching for That's TV Lancashire, or you can write to us by dropping an email to lancashire@thats.tv. The University of Lancashire has partnered with 10 of the region's further education colleges and sixth forms to collectively demonstrate their support for the Armed Forces community. The university signed the Armed Forces Covenant to ensure that military veterans and their families are treated fairly and given the same opportunities as their civilian counterparts. Director of the College for Military Veterans and Emergency Services, Becky Steele, spoke to That's TV about how their research better supports veterans re-entering civilian life.
As a university and also across our research clusters, we basically look at how we can inform evidence-based impact. And a lot of that is understanding what the environments look like for both veterans, so service leavers and their families, as they re-enter into civilian life. Now, of course, service families are in quite a unique position because they never really leave civilian life. So they're part of both the military community and culture, and also civilian community and culture. But as part of that culture, they will generally experience a lot of mobility as part of their lives. So for army families, it's very common for those to follow the serving person around. And for those families that are unaccompanied, there's still disruption to family life with the serving person both entering into home and leaving again. So basically, as part of these projects, we've identified that particularly service children aren't tracked when they enter into further education. So we really wanted to make the colleges aware of what this hidden cohort basically required, and make them aware of the armed forces population as learners within their community.
And that's your headline news. Coming up next on That's TV, it's your local weather.